La négation. La négation est comme un sandwich. Why I tell you this? Because it is true. To transform a positive sentence in a negative sentence in French, you have to make a French sandwich with the verb. So in French, to make a negation, you should put ne before the verb and pas after the verb. For example, je parle italien. I speak Italian. I don't speak Italian. No, I don't speak Italian. So how do I make a negation? Where is the verb? The verb is parle, I speak. So I'm gonna say je ne parle pas italien. Ok, j'espère que c'est clair. I hope it's clear. Alors, this lesson is not finished, hein? We are still on the page 23 of your book. And I'm gonna teach you some sentence of the verb être we learned, but this time in the negative form, okay? And I'm gonna also give you a fun fact about the French language, the French negation. Even your boyfriend, girlfriend, or French friend doesn't know. So it's stay until the end. And let's be clear from the beginning, because some of my students uh, think that this thing is a sandwich, is a baguette. This thing is not a baguette. This thing is a baguette. Okay. The shape of the bread is a baguette. But this thing, it's just called a sandwich. Okay. So sandwich in French, it can have this shape or this shape. Alors, let's review the sentence of your book. Look at this. Je ne suis pas en forme. Tu n'es pas française? Il n'est pas très sympa. Elle n'est pas sérieuse. Nous ne sommes pas américains, nous sommes canadiens. Vous n'êtes pas fatigué? Ils ne sont pas grands. Elles ne sont pas là. So did you notice for every sentence we did the sandwich with ne and pas before and after the verb. But maybe you notice why this thing is like N apostrophe because the verb begins with a vowel. Okay, that's why the ne transform in N apostrophe. That's the only difference. This one no, because it starts with S, this one also, and this one also. What does it mean, all these sentences? Je ne suis pas en forme. Alors, if you say je suis en forme, it means in French, I feel very fit and with a lot of energy. So, je ne suis pas en forme. Sería lo mismo. It's gonna be the same to say je suis fatigué. Okay, I am tired. Tu n'es pas française? So, you are not French? And we know we are speaking to a woman because a French man, it would be français. But this one is française. Tu n'es pas française? Il n'est pas très sympa. He is not very sympathetic. Elle n'est pas sérieuse. She is not serious. Nous ne sommes pas américains, nous sommes canadiens. We are not American, we are Canadians. Vous n'êtes pas fatigué? Are you not tired? Ils ne sont pas grands. They are not tall. Elles ne sont pas là. They are not here. OK. Let's continue. Bonus, je ne sais pas. Remember the previous lesson? I told you that French people doesn't say actually je suis Or don't say tu es, but we're gonna say suis or t'es. But what do we have here? It's the worst case. Don't panic. It's not always the same with the French people. Here we have a sentence. Je ne sais pas. That means, alors if you say je sais, it means I know. Okay? But if you say je ne sais pas, it's I don't know. But this sentence, je ne sais pas, has been transformed a lot in French. It became je ne sais pas. And then it's transformed in je sais pas. And then it's transformed in je sais pas. And then it's transformed in je sais pas. And then it's transformed in route, a fart. It's not a joke. Hein. Really, French people to say je ne sais pas, you're gonna listen to them and they're gonna say je sais pas, je sais pas, je sais pas. Alors, it's better if you say je ne sais pas, but if you listen to a friend say je sais pas, you know he means I don't know. And why a prout? French people do a lot of noise with their mouth. So if you listen to a French, if you ask someone in France, and if he do this noise like it's not means that you he don't care. It just means I don't know. Okay, I don't know. You see, French is really easy. La négation à l'oral et à l'écrit. Ok. Uh, no. Now we gonna see the difference when we write and when we speak. Alors, we make a sandwich in French, for example. Je parle, je ne parle pas. Je travaille, I work. Je ne travaille pas. OK? Donc, I speak, I don't speak. I work, I don't work. Most of the time, French people, as myself, when we speak, we don't use the ne. So the most important thing in the negation in French is the pas. Okay? So you're gonna hear French people say je parle pas, je travaille pas, tu parles pas. Okay? But you should write it. That's the difference between speaking and writing. And don't use only the ne, because French people won't understand you. You should remember always use pas, 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 pas. Okay, some interesting facts about the French language. Okay, first, this is normal thing. The second part is gonna be more interesting, but it's like more complicated. Alors, for now, it's okay if you just remember ne pas to make the negation. But as in English, we have another kind of negation. For example, ne jamais, it's like neither. Okay? Neither. For example, je ne danse jamais. I never dance. Ne rien means nothing. For example, je ne comprends rien. I understand nothing. And ne plus is like no more. Ok. Je ne veux plus travailler. I don't want to work anymore. Je ne veux plus travailler. Ok. Or you can say another sentence. Je ne travaille plus. I don't work anymore. Ok. Alors, some of my students ask me, but what is pas? What does it mean? Well, it is a negation. That's what French people will tell you. But if you go to the really old French, like really long time ago, in the medieval, the Middle Age, le Moyen Âge. Before, French was like English or Spanish. We only use ne to make the negation. Really a long time ago, hein? Ne. But the thing is like ne, 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 je ne mange, je ne mange. We don't listen to it very well. So what people do to insist in the negation, they add pas. That means literally step. A step, it is a step, un pas. For example, if you say pas à pas, it means step by step. Or Armstrong, the guy who went to the moon, he said un petit pas pour l'homme, a little step for man, but a great step for humankind, no? Something like that. Un petit pas pour l'homme, mais un grand pas, a big step, un grand pas pour l'humanité. Ok. Donc, the negation come from here. So we say to insist, for example, I walk. Okay, I walk. In French, we say je marche. So, je ne marche pas. I don't walk even a small step. That's why we use that. And actually, in the today, we have another kind of negation, but it's like really, it's not like everyday French. It's like really, luxury French. You could hear like point. It's like a point. For example, they say I write. I don't know how to pronounce it in English. I write. In French, is j'écris. Okay. Alors to say I don't write even a point, we tell je n'écris point. It was before, hein, it was a long time before. Je n'écris point. Or even it's like old negation, nobody use this. No, but you can impress your friends. For example, I drink is je bois. So to insist to say that they don't drink nothing, they said je ne bois goutte. And goutte means a drop. So I don't even drink even a drop of water. I don't drink. Je ne bois goutte. Okay. But it's just like a bit more of cultural. It's not necessary to understand this. Okay, this it's important, not for the first level, but for the second level. Okay, right now just remember ne pas or just pas when we speak. Let's make an exercise. Um, to work the negative form. I'm gonna pronounce some French sentence, and you're gonna tell me if it's true or false. Vrai ou faux? Vrai, it's true. Faux, false. Par exemple, for example, if I say les éléphants, les éléphants volent. Les éléphants volent. The elephants fly. Vrai ou faux? Faux, hein? It's wrong. Les éléphants ne volent pas. Okay? And you can even correct me. You can say ils marchent. Okay? So you're just gonna make the negative form. If it's wrong, hein, if it's true, you're gonna tell me vrai. Ok. Autre exemple. Les cochons, les cochons sont bleus. Les cochons sont bleus. Vrai ou faux? Faux. Les cochons ne sont pas bleus. Les cochons ne sont pas bleus. Ils sont roses. Ok. Les cochons ne sont pas bleus, ils sont roses. Ah, c'est des questions stupides, désolé. Je suis anglais. Je suis anglais. Vrai ou faux? Je suis anglais. Faux. Je ne suis pas anglais. Ah, you should tell me, hein. Tu n'es pas anglais because you speak to me. Non, non, tu n'es pas anglais. You are not English. Je suis français. Je suis français. D'accord? Allez, autre exemple. Paris est la capitale de la France. Vrai ou faux? Paris est la capitale de la France. Vrai ou faux? Ah, c'est vrai, hein? It's true, hein? Until now, I think Paris in French, it's still the capital of France. Autre question. New York est la capitale des États-Unis. New York est la capitale des États-Unis. Ah, c'est faux. C'est faux. It's wrong. It's false. New York n'est pas. New York n'est pas la capitale des États-Unis. C'est Las Vegas. Non, ce n'est pas Las Vegas. C'est Washington. Washington, that is also a state, non? Hmm, non, Seattle. Seattle est la capitale de Washington. Mais c'est Washington, hein, Washington, how you say Washington, D.C.? I don't even know how you write Washington. Terrible. Wrong. Faux. Bon, eh bien, très bien. J'espère que c'est clair. And you can already use this in your presentation. For example, if you don't want to say je parle français, you can say je ne parle pas français. But I think it's even wrong this because you speak a little French now. So you could say je parle un peu français. I speak a little bit French. D'accord? Je parle un peu français. Eh ben, très bien. La leçon est terminée pour aujourd'hui. La prochaine leçon, c'est une leçon de phonétique. The next lesson is a phonetic, a pronunciation lesson. Merci beaucoup et à bientôt.